Russell Wilson, my whole family would talk about me so bad if I ain't fly everybody out there for Thanksgiving. And I'm sponsored by an airline.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not close to his family.
And maybe he not. But his mama wasn't there. Sisters wasn't there.
This is what happens when you go on a podcast and call Russell Wilson's Thanksgiving dinner weird, and Shannon Sharpe catches wind of it. Former NFL quarterback Trevone Boykin had to issue an apology after getting absolutely dragged by Shannon Sharpe, Chad Johnson, Russell Wilson's own mother.
Russell Wilson, I went to his house for Thanksgiving. The weirdest feel, like he catered. So bro, I come from a traditional country-ass black family.
We doing that.
If I got as much money as Russell Wilson, my whole family would talk about me so bad if I ain't fly everybody out there for Thanksgiving.
And basically the entire internet for sharing a story about a private dinner at Russell and Ciara's house from almost 10 years ago. Boykin wasn't just some random person talking either, because this man was Russell Wilson's actual backup quarterback on the Seattle Seahawks, and Wilson invited him into his home for Thanksgiving. That private moment is now all over social media, and the backlash has been relentless.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though, like, it's still weird to me. I'm just still, even if you don't fool with your family, like, it's still weird to me on Thanksgiving. My family gonna do the food. This is what we gonna do. If you the one with the money, we coming to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me
that part.
That's what we gonna do. So
yeah.
to get over there and catch Russell Wilson, like, him, is literally him, Ciara daddy, me, Noonie.
Here's exactly what Boykin said, why Shannon Sharpe went off on him, and how Boykin responded to all the heat. November 24th is when this whole situation kicked off, with Trevone Boykin appearing on his YouTube podcast called House of Playmakers, alongside his former TCU teammates Paul Dawson and Devontae Fields. About 54 minutes into the episode, Boykin started talking about the time he went to Russell Wilson and Ciara's house for Thanksgiving back in 2016.
Baby Future, the chef, and 2 nannies, and 3 dogs. And Baby Future at that time,
which happened to be Russell and Ciara's first Thanksgiving. As a married couple since they tied the knot that summer, Boykin was Wilson's backup quarterback at the time, and that's when Russell invited him over for the holiday. On the podcast, Boykin described the experience by saying, quote, "I went to his house for Thanksgiving. The weirdest feeling. Like, he catered." He explained that he comes from what he called a traditional country black family, and if he had as much money as Russell Wilson, his whole family would talk about him so bad if he didn't fly everybody out for Thanksgiving.
See, that's what, not chat. Now you see why I don't have a whole lot of mofos at my house. See, he worried about somebody else's family, your black ass there. He invited you. He looked at you like family, and what you do?
Turn around and come
got
and talk
diarrhea
about
of the mouth. You think you telling something. Man, I went to Russell house, that mansion, it was weird. Yeah, because he had an outsider in there. That was the weird part about it. That's why you don't let people come to your house, chat.
He even pointed out that Wilson is sponsored by an airline. What really stood out in the story was Boykin saying Wilson's mama wasn't there, his sisters weren't there, and he kept describing the whole situation as weird. According to his account, the only people present were Russell, Ciara, himself, Baby Future, a chef, 2 nannies, and 3 dogs. Reports also indicate he made comments about Ciara's son Future, calling him bad and spoiled. The podcast didn't have a huge audience at the time since it had fewer than 10 episodes, but here's the thing, clips started getting reposted everywhere. Hollywood Unlocked picked it up, then Twitter accounts like Rap House of TV 2 posted it on November 29th, and by November 30th, the story was spreading like wildfire. That's when Shannon Sharpe saw it. November 30th brought Shannon Sharpe's response on his podcast Nightcap with Chad Johnson, and he held absolutely nothing back.
I don't get it. I'm confused. Why is everybody always looking for a moment? Why is everybody always looking for a moment to go viral or to get your little 15 minutes? He lets you into his home on Thanksgiving, a special day. Okay, if the family wasn't there, maybe they don't get along. Maybe they don't see the eye to eye. I mean, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, Ocho.
I don't understand.
His family wasn't there, but you was there. But you take this opportunity now, years later,
to talk about it.
Because Russ ain't been in Seattle for a long period of time.
Right.
Sharpe's stance was clear, stating that if someone invites you into their home for a holiday meal, you show gratitude and keep negative judgments to yourself. Whether Wilson's Thanksgiving was small, quiet, or different shouldn't have become podcast content in his Hasu view. But that wasn't all he had to say, because Sharpe called Boykin, and this is a direct quote, a straight-up snake for disrespecting Wilson's hospitality. His take was that Boykin was purposely stirring up a mess for attention. The point Sharpe made that resonated with a lot of people was this, that this is exactly why not everyone should be invited into your home, especially if they're going to turn around and use your hospitality as shade.
And now you bring this up. Because you try to, guess who was there? Ciara daddy, Noonie, Baby Future, the chef. For the most part, I have a get together, I'm catering it.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
I just don't get, bro, I don't get that. Why you put this man invited you into his home. You tell him what's happening inside this man's home. That's what, see? And people are like, man, you antisocial. No, I'm anti people running their damn mouth.
Chad Johnson backed up everything Sharpe was saying, with Ocho claiming Boykin was clearly looking for a viral moment at Russell and Ciara's expense. He emphasized that you don't disparage someone who welcomed you into their home, and the internet overwhelmingly agreed with both of them. Comments flooded in with people saying things like, dude invited you around his wife and kids for Thanksgiving, and this is how you repay him. Another popular comment read, what's weird is you eating a man's food at his house, then talk about him on a podcast. The backlash hit heavy and fast. Shannon Sharpe wasn't the only one who had something odd to say about all this, because Russell Wilson's mother, Tammy Wilson, went straight to the Shade Room's comment section and delivered what people are calling an old school read. Her comment started with, I am his mom, it is none of your business. This is opportunistic. I am so tired of you men cutting down my son. What she wrote next hit especially hard. Tammy Wilson typed, Russ thought enough of you who has a criminal history to love you enough to invite you over. She added, I hope you felt relevant for a few minutes, and capped it off with, and we got our own money. But here's where she provided context that changed the whole picture. Tammy Wilson explained exactly why the family wasn't at that Thanksgiving dinner in 2016, revealing they were actually in Florida, supporting Anna Wilson, Russell's sister, who was a freshman on Stanford's women's basketball team at the time playing in a Thanksgiving tournament. The whole reason Boykin thought things were weird, that Russell's family wasn't there, had a simple explanation. They were supporting their daughter and sister at her college basketball game across the country, which is why Russell catered the dinner in the first place. After Shannon Sharpe went off, Tammy Wilson responded, and the entire internet dragged him. Trevone Boykin came back on his podcast on December 5th to address everything that had happened. His words were, I do want to issue an apology. I feel like they didn't wake up and ask for that. Russ, Ciara, or Baby Future. It was an experience I had 10 years ago. So I can issue that apology because they didn't deserve that. And this is where things got interesting, because Boykin revealed that Russell Wilson actually sent him a direct message after the original comments went viral. Boykin mentioned he's going to DM him back and explained that when he told the story, there was no ill intent behind it. His explanation was that he was just trying to say he wasn't raised that way and that the experience was different for him. The acknowledgement came that he should have provided more context and that sharing a decade-old private moment was inappropriate. Boykin did apologize, but for a lot of people watching this unfold, the damage had already been done. Boykin issued his apology and mentioned he's going to message Russell back, though whether that conversation repairs anything between them remains unknown. Shannon Sharpe made his point crystal clear that there are certain lines you don't cross, and talking negatively about someone who welcomed you into their home sits firmly on the wrong side of that line. Tammy Wilson reminded everyone watching that she's not going to sit back and let people talk about her son without saying something in response. This whole situation really comes down to one thing: when you strip away all the noise. When someone opens their home to you, especially during a holiday, especially when you don't have anywhere else to go, that's a kindness that deserves respect. Russell Wilson didn't have to invite Trevone Boykin to Thanksgiving, and he could have let his backup quarterback figure out his own plans. Instead, he brought him into his home with his new wife. during their first Thanksgiving as a married couple. Almost 10 years passed before that private moment became podcast content for viral engagement. Shannon Sharpe called it out, the internet agreed, and Boykin had to apologize. This is exactly why you hear people say, be careful who you let into your circle, because sometimes the people you show kindness to are the same ones who will turn around and use it against you for a viral moment. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Boykin wrong for telling that story, or do you think people overreacted? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. I'll catch you in the next one.